Welcome back to the channel. So on this episode, we're going to be trying to get to the bottom of what's the matter with Swampy ignition. We had a huge problem with it at Brands Hatch, and at the moment, it doesn't work at all. We actually pushed it in the trailer with a forklift, but also at the show, we had a problem with the four-link bar. So this is the four-link bar that connects the chassis to the axle. And if you look on the bench, you look at that, it's got a bend in it. It's not a huge bend, but once it's started to bend, it's actually easier to bend it. You can see where it's hit something here, and that is what's bent it. So we put a new one on it. The new one's still on there, but it's a black one. But so yesterday, Georgina was at home doing the video. Thank you, Georgina.
No problem.
I made some new ones. So this is the material that we make the four-link bars out of. So can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so that is 8mm seamless tube. It's not pipe, it's tube. There's a difference, it's how it's measured. That is made out of CDS steel. That is really, that's quite heavy, even that bit. But yeah, so put the ends in there, welded all the way around the ends, and then plug welded everything. So I made 3 new ones yesterday and a steering tie bar. So just got to paint them now. Only going to put them in, I'll probably just put them in primer. I might paint them silver. I always just leave them plain and they all go rusty, so yeah. So let's hang these up and paint these now. Okay, so they're hanging up now. All we've got to do now is just brush some zinc phosphate primer on them. I probably am going to paint them silver, even though they're going to live in the trailer and probably get scratched to pieces before we need them. At least they're not rusty. So here are all the 4-link bars, and that one's the tie bar because that one's the green one. All painted, all ready to go back in the trailer. Also, I'll be making this over a period of time, just when we have a bit of spare time. This is a monster lifter, a monster mount. So at the moment, it's actually upside down. So the idea is, I've probably already talked about this. It's really weird because I filmed so much of it in little bits. The forklift goes in there. I don't know how to do this.
What do you mean?
Well, I've been videoing this for so long, so let's have a montage. So I have now finished the monster truck lift. So let's have a look what it's turned out to be. So it is turned out to be quite heavy. So yeah, so we got 2 RSJs welded on top of each other. What I've done at the end here is I've put another hook on it, just for in case you wanted to hang something from this. It just makes it a lot easier. So we got the locating pin there, all gusseted up, all welded in, nice and strong. Comes all the way down to here. So I've got nice triangulation plate. I've put a couple of extra holes for if you wanted to lift something with that. I'm just trying to make it more universal. So that's where the forks go through for the telehandler. Also mounted the hook up onto it. So all I've got to do is make a pin for this now. So you can take that pin out. That pin will get used for when this piece goes into the monster truck, but it keeps it all located, so it's all located in the same place. So when you want to use it, it is ready to use. And then these things here have a strap back to the forklift to stop all this sliding off. So that should make it a lot easier, but it is really heavy. I've got to try and get it off the bench in a minute. So we have set up the whole ignition system of a monster truck on a bench. So that is everything that makes the monster truck run. So we've got the battery, we've got the brains unit, we've got the coil, we've got the distributor, and all 8 spark plugs. Right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to test the battery. So I've got quite a fancy battery tester. Put it on. So you can see the screen. So this is an AGM battery, so that is correct. We use this quite a lot. So that is what rating the battery is, and you find the rating of the battery from up there, and it's on that. So then you're going to set that the number, so you can change the number to whatever it is. So we know that one is 65 and it's a CCA setting. Next button, we press that, it goes on to number 4, and now it does a test. So it said the battery is 100%, and then we go down to the volts, 12.6 volts. And that's how much cranking ability it's got. So it's actually got more than it says its minimum is. So that is a good battery. So that is 100% good. So now we know the battery's good. Before we hook it up and test it, let's talk you how it works. So this has got 12 volts directly to the battery. And then we've got a little switch that turns this on. When it's turned on, it will not do anything. like that. The only reason this gets a signal is when you push the starter button on the monster truck, this is connected to the camshaft, so that spins round. When that spins round, it puts a voltage out of this wire and goes back into the brains. Then the brains knows what the that trigger is. Then it puts the power into down this wire into the coil. Then the coil goes up to the distributor again. So this was at the bottom of it, now it's at the top of it. And then it puts all of those powers down to the wires, and it will fire the spark plugs in the order they need to fire in. That is how it works. It looks a lot more complicated in the truck because you can't see all the bits together, but that's how it works. So let's put it all together, and I bet it works on the bench. It doesn't work in the truck, but it only was playing up after a jump. So that might mean it could be something breaking in that. I have got another one. We're going to get the other one out and test it all in a minute. All right, so what I've got, I haven't got a switch. So I've just put a fuse in line there, put that in. So now everything is live. So we got another fuse in the MSD down there. So now if I spin this, it'll send a signal to that, which sends a signal to the coil, which sends it to the spark plugs. Is it going to do anything? I can hear sparks. Shall I turn the light off so you can see it a bit better?
Yeah.
It's quite a weird noise it makes, isn't it? It's like beep, 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 beep. I knew it was going to work on the bench. Oh.
So the problem we had after the second test jump,
we couldn't even get it to do this.
We couldn't even get it to spark here.
So let's pull that off.
And this should make a humongous spark.
Yeah, because this should jump to the bench. God, look at that one. You ready?
Wait, hold on. Let me zoom in.
You're going to zoom in?
Right,
this will jump to the bench. That is how much power that has got. That's quite a big... That's jumping that far, so it's...
Yeah, so when I was sat doing the starter button and it wouldn't even spark that.
No. You don't know what to be near that spark. That is 90,000 volts, that spark. Right, let's go and take the other one out of the truck and put the other one in, and then get the other coil, and we'll try the other coil and see what happens.
And then I suppose if that all works, we've got to try and figure out to put it back in the truck.
I'm going to put all new wiring in the truck. For anything to do with ignition, it's going to be brand new. Switches, wires, fuses, everything's going to be new.
So this is the coil on the truck at the minute. So we're going to take this out and then we're going to test this on the test bench. So I got it off the truck now, time to put it on the test bench.
So now it works. So what we've done now is gone into the trailer and we've taken the coil off the truck.
Now this wouldn't ignite last time.
No, this wouldn't work last time. So with testing, you don't want to change everything. You want to change one piece at a time and try and work out which has gone wrong. So we're trying the coil first.
Because we have absolutely no idea why it's not working in the truck.
No, and I had a voltmeter in the truck and I was testing all the voltages on all the things, and it was getting the right amount of volts. So it's getting the 12 volts on the ignition down to the box, and it was also getting the 12 volts from the battery to the box. Yeah, really don't know. And it was only after a jump. When it was running, it was fine. As soon as you did a jump with it, it stopped. Right, so let's stick that on there now. Got to make it go click. There you go. You have to listen to the noise. Right, so the only thing we've changed now is that. Let's connect the battery back up. The 12 volts there. The switch is in, because we've got the fuse in. So everything should work now. Let's see if we get a spark now. We're getting a spark now.
Which still doesn't...
Still doesn't help, because it still wasn't working in the truck. Right, so now that coil's working.
So both coils are working.
Both coils are working. On the bench.
Yeah, not where we want it though.
Right, so this is the one out the truck. It's slightly different. That's why I had to modify the wiring.
This is the normal one we have, isn't it?
This is the one we normally have. So this one has a 2-step rev counter, rev limiter. This one only has a single stage. Also, this one has a spark indicator, so that knows it's getting a signal. This one doesn't. That light's quite helpful. Yeah, so let's swap it over. It's not going to take me long. This one has a different rev counter. The rev counter on this one goes in there, and then this one, it has to go in there. So let's swap it over, come back in a second. So that is the other MSD installed. Now, that's what I was on about. It's slightly a little bit different on the wiring. Some of the things are in. So now the coil comes from over here now, and the trigger wires go in at the bottom. That one there is ignition wire, and that one up there that isn't plugged in will go to the rev counter.
Which we don't have.
Well, I could go and get one. I've got a spare one upstairs, but let's put this one on.
Now, in theory, we don't want this to work, but we do.
Yeah. Right, so everything is connected now. Is it going to make a noise?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Does it sound?
No, it sounds the same.
It sounds the same.
Pretty sure it sounds, yeah. And then,
So why does it work now?
should we take that thing off and see if it makes a giant lightning strike like it did a minute ago?
You just want to see it, don't you, again?
Well, it's really cool. Oh, it's doing it.
Why does it work? Oh.
Because this cost us 3 free shows we missed at Brands Hatch, and we was really upset because we wanted
Really
to...
upset, and I was really upset for Brands Hatch. I love that show. It's a really good show. And yeah, we did one jump on the second day. Then we did a couple of test jumps, and it broke, and I could not get it going again. Right, what else can it be?
Well, we haven't checked the batteries in the truck to make sure they're at tip-top shape, have we?
Good shout. Yes.
Because explain to the people on YouTube, because we have 2 batteries in the truck.
Yeah, there's 2 batteries in the truck, and they are linked together.
In parallel.
In parallel, yeah. Because if it's in series, it'd be 24 volts. So yeah. But the starter motor starts just off one battery. It links directly to one battery, and the ignition comes off this side on the other battery.
So we should go and get our battery tester.
Yeah, let's get in the trailer.
Yeah.
Disconnect the batteries from each other, and use the battery tester to see what state the batteries are in.
But they're both brand new batteries for the
They
start.
are both brand new batteries.
Which is why we're confused.
But I didn't run an alternator. I was using the battery charger.
Because we've been snapping loads of belts recently.
Yeah.
So let's go and do that now and see what it says. Okay, we're deep in the heart of the trailer.
There's one battery.
Then the other one is over there.
It's over there. So we've got to take all the Lexan cover on. The reason why you have Lexan on the top of the batteries is to stop things dropping on the terminals. We don't want bits of car, bits of anything. So we use that as a shield to stop the batteries getting shorted out. So I've got to take all that off. Be really careful where I drop that one, because that one's connected to the battery on the other side. But I want to test this battery first, and then we'll check the battery on the other side. So come back to me in a minute once I've got all the bits off and see what the battery tester says.
So the battery is now disconnected from the truck, and it's disconnected from the other battery. So it's just the battery in the holder.
All right, AGM battery.
Yep.
Next one.
CCA.
Yeah, and that's what we want to be on.
Yep.
That's what the battery is, because we know it's exactly the same as what we've just been doing.
Here we go. 100%. So that still doesn't answer our question.
All right, so that's 100%. Yeah. Yep, still good. Right, well, we'll leave. We'll connect the battery up now, and then we're going to check the other side, see what that battery is. We're saying that is at 61% on there. Let's go. So that's 100% there. 12.4 volts, but bear in mind it's just been sat in the trailer. We haven't done anything to this one. So it's not that then.
Nope.
Should we check the other battery?
If it's not the other battery, it's got to be the cable.
It's got to be something to do with the wiring.
But we want to put brand new wires anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to put brand new wire. I can't have this happen again. I can't have it happen again. It's too disappointing for people coming to see the truck to run. Disappointing for me, because I like to drive it. And at the minute, I think I've just spent a whole load of money, because I've just spent nearly £5,000 worth on ignition bits, and I've ordered a lot more spares as well. Gaskets, spark plugs, oil filters. But yeah, 2 complete ignition systems. 2 distributors, 2 coils, 2 MSD 7AL Pros, and a tester, a proper tester that goes in it. So you don't have to do this on the bench. You can actually dyno it
in the truck
on a proper tester, which was another $450. All right, let's go on. Let's get on with the battery on the other side and see what that one says it is. Right, let's do it.
It's like a whodunit sort of thing, like a murder mystery.
Murder mystery? What are you on about?
Well, think about it. What's stopping the monster truck from working? So we've got to find out who done it.
Who done it? Let's get on with it. Cut. All right.
So now we're at the other side. Time to do exactly the same test.
Exactly the same thing as what we did to the last battery. So, this is going to be fun getting to the negative on this one because I haven't taken the cover off on this one. How can I get to that?
How long's your cable?
It's pretty long.
Yeah, so we can go through this bit.
I think I'll put that one. I'll try and do that one first.
Trying to film this is very tricky.
Did you bring the torch round?
Yeah, I've got the torch round.
Okay.
Oh, are we on now?
Oh, you're on it now. So right. AGM battery.
Yeah.
CCA. Yeah. We know that's the right voltage. Run the test. 100%.
Oh my days. 60.
12 point. There's a little bit more on the voltage, and it says 62%.
So basically, it's the exact same reading.
The exact same reading as the other one. So those two batteries are good.
Which they should be.
Which they should be because they're new.
Yeah.
All right. It's got to be wiring. So
let's get out the tester meter thingies on it.
Don't. I'm just going to change it. I'm done with it. I'm gonna go.
Throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
Oh, got a red light.
Woo! Don't like me when I'm angry. So let's get. I'm gonna have to go to Westbury and to the Bristol Auto Electrics because I'm gonna get some new cable, new switches, some new fuses, relays, and restuck up my electrical box because it is getting a little bit low now because I did change a lot at the weekend. So what are you thinking?
Well, so on the bench,
Yeah.
what cables did we have connecting the stuff together? Because you said that on the bench we had the ones from the actual monster truck.
Right, so in the show, there's a set in the truck that are pre-wired in. So the ones that go from the distributor back to the MSD box under the seat, they're still in the truck. But I did change them. I did put those ones that are on the bench on it as well.
So we know they
just in
work.
case they had a break in it. They are modified on the truck because there's a couple of extra switches I've put in there to stop people playing around with stuff on it. So I've hidden some switches in it. But it might be those switches, I don't know. But I did check, it was getting all the right voltages everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So
the coil was not igniting after that second jump.
no, and I couldn't, no matter what I could do with it, I couldn't get it to spark.
Yeah, we was on it for hours.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out, but we just couldn't.
And I changed all the boxes.
Yeah.
So it's got to be wiring.
So, like, for example, if people thought at the show we weren't trying, this is literally an invisible problem that doesn't exist, but it's stopping us from doing the show.
And the baddest point is it would do it on after a jump, so you can only test when you jump it.
Yeah, it's not like we can jump it in the trailer.
No. At the minute, we can't even get it out the trailer.
Yeah, it's stranded. It's a glorified big paperweight.
Yeah. So let me connect all the batteries back up, and then we're going to put new wiring in it.
Yeah, brand new wiring, throw everything in the bin and start again.
So in my trailer I keep this. So this is on my electrical connectors box, but I didn't have everything I needed today. So I went over to Westbury this morning. I needed some more supplies, so I needed some more of them, which are the insulated ones. Some more wire cable for the MSD, because that is the right thickness for that. I've got some more connectors, more fuses, fuse box with a cover on it. So this fuse box, you can put the power in at the sides, and on this fuse box the power comes in on the bottom like that, so that can get mounted, but that has to go. That's the one I've got in the truck at the moment, but I bought that other one so if I needed to. I've got some switches, relays. We use a lot of relays on the monster truck. More switches, more connectors, more wire. So that is everything to fix the monster truck in the trailer now, so we can rewire the monster truck. So I always carry a lot of spares, and I've just ordered another couple of spares, so I've got another couple of spare yellow top Optima batteries. So I've always have one spare one in there, but now I've actually got 3 spare batteries in the trailer. Okay, so I've been going through the wiring on the truck. So what I've done is I joined so if you look up here, you see these two?
1 second.
See them two? Oh, you got it?
Got to try and fit. Yep, I can see it now.
So those two are the coil wires. So what I do is I join them together and then I put you can see over there where I'm pointing, they've got the two other coil wires.
Yeah.
What I do then is I put my continuity tester on that. So what I do is it's really hard to film at the moment in a minute.
It's very cramped.
It's very cramped. So basically I've joined the two wires together, and then if you touch these on the other two ends, it goes to 0. That means it's getting a complete circuit. If it didn't have a circuit, it'd be like that. So when I do that, and all that works. So that wire's good. I've done the same for the trigger wires that come from the from the distributor.
That's the purple.
That's the purple and the green wire. So I've done the same on that, and that works. And then I've been just going through all the other wires to do with ignition. So that's all these wires.
Quite a lot of them.
That's quite a lot of them. But I think I found what was the problem. To get this out, I've had to cut through a couple of wires, and I cut through a joiner. For some reason, I had to put a joiner in the truck, and this wire, which controls the MSD, so that goes to the MSD box. This wire was just sat in the bottom of there, like that, because it's cable tied in, and that's probably why when you do a jump, it would just come disattached, and then it was just rattling around in there. And then that's why sometimes it would start and sometimes it wouldn't. So that is it. So now I'm going to go back through this, take all these wires out and put a new one in with no joins in it. I don't know why I actually end up putting that join in there. It must have had to do it at one point in a hurry, and it's been like this for years. But yeah, so at least I think that is what the problem is.
At least we've got something to blame.
Yeah. Probably a 20p connector. It stopped us working. But yeah, so I'm going to go through the rest of the wiring now on it. There's still loads of wires in here because it's got more wires than a normal monster truck, because we've got all the pretty lights on it. So it's got all the headlights, the glow lights. It's got 3 different set of glow lights on the truck.
And then you got the flagpole.
You got flagpole. You got demister on the windscreen.
It's a luxury monster truck, this one.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm going to carry on chasing this wire back, where I think this one goes straight into the fuse box. So I'm going to change that complete wire now and then start putting everything back in. So let's talk through the problems. When I was measuring the power, I was getting 12 volts onto this. But what I think was happening is when that was in there, that was all that bit's all cable tied, this wire's all cable tied, so it's barely touching in there, but it was enough to get 12 volts to go through it. The MSD takes 20 amps, but this connection wasn't good enough to take 20 amps. So even though I was seeing 12 volts, there wasn't enough power to be able to go through that for this to work. And that is what the problem was with the monster truck. All right, okay, let's turn everything on. So we're not using that distributor at the minute. We're just going to use this one. Wait for the RI to light. All right, now if I spin it, we should have power. We have a spark!
Finally!
Finally, yes. We put a lot of new wiring in, tidied up a few bits and bobs, but now we have a spark.
So in theory, it should start.
It should start, yeah. Got a lot more panels to put back on before we can start it, because we got holes here, holes around the front.
Yeah.
We take a lot of the panels off just to get to things. We've even had the fire extinguisher out. So yeah, let's start putting things back together. So I'm now sat in the seat of the monster truck. Now there is one other part of the ignition system where we haven't talked about, and that is the thing you see when we're at the shows. We always test this is the RII, but I've never actually shown you how it works and what it does. So let's do that now. So in my truck, this is the remote ignition interrupter fitted in the truck. What it does is it disconnects the ignition remotely via the walkie-talkie. So if I turn the power on, you can hear the water pump kick in, and now you've got the 2 lights flashing. That is for left lane, that is for right lane. If they're both on, it's centre. So that's centre channel. So if I go up, it's now on the left lane, centre lane, right lane. and that corresponds to the lights in here. So the moment that is on right, so the person on the outside with the remote knows what channel I'm on. If I turn it on to center, that one stays on and that one is on. You can see the light on that one. And if I turn it to left, that one stays on and that one goes out. So the person on the outside using the remote knows what channel I'm on. So if I turn it on now, it says, so at the moment it's on the right channel. So if I press this, you can hear that noise. That is what the box is listening for, but it won't do anything because it is on the left channel. So if I switch it over to the right, and if I press it now, watch what happens to the light. The light starts flashing. That means this has been operated and the truck will stop. Also, the light up there is flashing. And you can reset this on the remote. Set right reset. So if I press it on right reset now, you see the light is lit back up. Now, that is what you see in Monster Jam. When they test the monster truck and they shut the monster truck off, it's not exactly the same system as this. This is what they used to use. They've used their own stuff now. But yeah, so if the driver gets shut off, the person on the ground can go around and have a look at the truck. And then when they're happy, they can actually let the person refire the monster truck. So that's how it works. All the ignition system in the monster truck goes through the RII. Without a solid light, you have no ignition on the truck. Okay, so Georgina's in the cab. Now we're at the stage where we want to fire the monster truck up. We're only going to fire it on petrol. We're not going to pull the methanol on because we don't want to build it up. And we're in the trailer. So right, first thing we do is turn the power on. Make sure the ignition is off.
Yeah.
And just bump it a few times. Again. Again. Yeah, okay, all right. So now we know that the engine isn't got a lock in it. So now do it for about 3 seconds. You can see it's chuffing out some fumes. All right, do it again, three seconds. All right, now do it till it builds some oil pressure up. You got oil pressure there now?
I'm sat at 20.
Yeah, so it's got 20 psi of oil pressure. So what we're going to do now is add some fuel. How am I going to do this and hold the camera? I'm just going to have to pause it while I put the petrol in because I can't do it with holding the camera. So, and then you can come back on and see if it fires. Okay, so I've put the fuel straight in the butterflies. All I do is open it up and then pour it in there. Right, so fuel is off in the cab, Georgina.
Fuel is off.
Okay, press the starter. Yeah, just do it once more just to clear it out. That's it. Now turn the ignition off and then just crank it over a couple of times. That is it. Swamp Thing is running. We've got to the bottom of why it wouldn't start. Turns out it's a really, really cheap connector, but it's taken a while to find that because we've had to go through so many wires and put so many new wires in. I'm a lot happier now. Thank you for watching this episode. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Georgina.
Bye.
Suck me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. In the black and ice, make my way into your mind. Just to know what you